The pieces moving around on the NFL board bring a giant mystery about our true competitive potential. If this actually happens, our whole setup could flip in a way nobody expected to see before the whistle blows for training camp. The clock is ticking fast, and the answers the fan base demands are still locked away behind closed doors. So go ahead and smash that like button and stay until the end, because what's coming up is going to make you look at our roster in a totally different way. The way the front office is handling our offense this offseason is leaving a lot of people scratching their heads. Training camp is right around the corner, and while the top free agents who were sitting out there on the market are starting to find a new home, the Raiders have stayed strangely quiet since the draft. Sure, the roster got a few depth pieces, but the most obvious need is still right there, screaming in our face. The wide receiver position, specifically the hunt for a legit X-receiver. With Kirk Cousins running the offense and young Fernando Mendoza needing real tools to grow, lacking an elite target on the outside is a problem that could cost us big. According to recent reports from the national scene, experts point out that the team should take a harder look at the market and maybe consider big names like former Buffalo Bills wide receiver Stefon Diggs. The thing is, the idea of seeing Diggs rocking our jersey splits opinions in a crazy way. On one hand, we're talking about a guy with a history of undeniable talent, plus old ties with Clint Kubiak himself from their Minnesota days and a years-long relationship with Cousins. But on the other hand, he's already 32, desperately chasing his first Super Bowl ring, and carries a bunch of off-field baggage that a young locker room just doesn't need right now. Is this a golden opportunity or a self-inflicted wound that's going to blow up the locker room? While the speculation around Diggs is boiling over on social media, the internal reality seems to go a different route. The front office's big gamble for the position ended up being the signing of Jalen Nailor in free agency. Specialized media points out that Nailor comes in with solid backing, also carrying prior chemistry with Cousins and Kubiak from their Vikings days, where he mostly played in the shadow of monsters like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Now the huge question mark is, does he actually have what it takes to step up as the main outside target, or are we putting all our chips on a massive unknown? The fan base is divided, the pressure on the coaching staff is massive, and any early season stumble is going to make everyone question why the front office didn't get aggressive on the market when they had the chance. But hold up, because what's coming next changes everything. If the offense raises doubts about who's going to be catching the Jalen ball, the defense has its own intriguing puzzle shaping up behind the scenes. Linebackers Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean come in as the absolute presumed starters to lead the unit, but what's catching everyone's attention in off-season workouts is who's right behind them in the rotation. Cody Lindenberg, picked in the 7th round of last year's draft, keeps impressing the coaching staff to the point of hyping up defensive coordinator Rob Leonard. He might not have the same crazy athletic explosion as Walker or Dean, but what the Minnesota product does with mental processing and scheme reading is something you just can't coach. During OTAs, with Dean dealing with some absences, Lindenberg took important first-team reps and called the defense using the famous green dot. Is this a sign of enviable tactical intelligence, or a clear hint that our defensive depth is hanging by a thread? We know Nakobe Dean is an absolute tackling machine when he's on the field, but his recent injury history is the elephant in the room nobody can ignore. Between injuries that cut past seasons short and recurring physical issues that kept him out of major battles, the door is wide open for Lindenberg to step up and prove himself. And the kid hasn't wasted any time. Reports from inside the field show that even veterans like Quay Walker are already recognizing the quiet genius of the young linebacker, calling him a total sponge who absorbs everything and understands the position like few others. Lindenberg might not start a single game if everyone stays healthy, but recent NFL history teaches us that a defense's backbone gets tested precisely when the backups have to step in and save the day. The question left is, if the worst happens and we need real depth, is our defensive unit going to fall apart or find in Lindenberg the best-kept surprise of the season? And to wrap up the package of news shaking up our preseason, we got to talk about the guy carrying the offensive future in his hands. Tight end Brock Bowers got a massive honor by being listed at number 60 on the prestigious NFL Top 100 Players list. The detail that makes this even more impressive is that this voting doesn't come from the media or internet opinions. It comes directly from the players themselves, the guys who step on the field, watch the tape, and feel firsthand how hard it is to guard our playmaker. After an absolutely historic rookie season, Bowers had to deal with an annoying knee injury all through last year that slowed down his raw numbers a bit, but not even physical issues stopped his sheer talent from making noise around the league. The impact of this inside the locker room is immediate, and Max Crosby himself made sure to speak his mind recently on his podcast, making it clear that the ceiling for Bowers is literally the top of the NFL. Crosby pointed out that the game looks way too easy for him, the result of an insane work ethic and a personality that's finally starting to show to the rest of the world. Even playing hurt because of his knee, Bowers pulled in dozens of catches, hundreds of yards, and several touchdowns, proving that his subpar level is still better than a lot of stars out there. Seeing the kid get recognized by his own opponents is a reason to be proud for the Silver and Black Nation, but it also serves as a warning to the rest of the league. If he's 100% healthy, the damage this offense can do is limitless. Now, fan, it's time to put all these pieces together and look right into the eyes of the reality shaping up for our season. Because when we coldly analyze everything going on inside our franchise, the feeling that we're walking a tightrope between absolute success and total chaos is just undeniable. You can't close your eyes anymore and pretend everything is totally under control when training camp is knocking on our door and concrete answers are still locked away behind closed doors in the front offices. On one side of the ball, we see an offense that carries massive potential, but at the same time raises question marks that give any paying fan the chills. The bet made on Jalen Nailor to take over as the team's primary receiver, plus the arrival of guys at specific career stages and the huge responsibility on the shoulders of a veteran quarterback like Kirk Cousins and young rookie Fernando Mendoza, puts insane pressure on the coaching staff. The fan base has every right to question if letting pass opportunities to bring in an absolute stud on the outside was a genius financial preservation strategy, or a massive miscalculation that's going to cost us big down the road when games get tight and our offense needs an immediate escape valve against the conference's best defenses. On the other side, the defense hands us a script worthy of a suspense movie where the quiet genius of young talents like Cody Lindenberg emerges as a ray of hope amidst the shadows. Seeing the coaching staff praise the mental capacity of a late-round draft pick is encouraging, but it also turns on a red alert about our actual depth at the position. We know damn well the physical track record of key pieces like Nakobe Dean is a constant unknown, and relying on luck for the starter to stay healthy all year is way too dangerous a strategy for anyone wanting to dream big this NFL season. And of course, in the middle of all these structural doubts, we have the absolute privilege of witnessing the rise of a generational superstar. Seeing Brock Bowers get recognized by his opponents and put at the top of the league by players who go through hell to guard this guy is living proof that our offensive future has an indestructible anchor. Max Crosby is totally right when he says this kid's ceiling is the sky, and knowing he played injured last year and still put up respectable numbers just makes us imagine the damage he can do with a 100% full, healthy tank. But the big question hammering in our heads is one phenomenal tight end going to be enough to carry an entire system on his back if the rest of the pieces around him don't produce like expected? The truth, fan, is that we are staring at a historic crossroads. Every decision made this offseason is going to get judged ruthlessly the second that oval ball flies for the first time that actually counts. The margin for error in our division is basically zero, and any early slip-up could mean another year watching the playoffs on TV while our rebuild project tries to find the right path. The Silver and Black Nation has never accepted mediocrity, and that's exactly why the pressure has to come down heavy from top to bottom, demanding total commitment, strategic competence, and pure fire from everyone wearing this sacred jersey. Now, I want to hear from you who lives and breathes this passion every single day and never jumps ship. With everything sitting on the table right now, is our game plan on the right track to shock the football world, or are we just sweeping dirt under the rug and watching a giant problem blow up right in front of us? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video with that fellow fan who needs a wake-up call to reality, and keep it locked right here on the channel, because anytime we'll be back with more hot updates, ruthless analysis, and all the emotion only our fan base knows how to deliver. Just win, baby.